In response to the gospel and the needs we see around us, our mission is to serve God by being a prophetic, Eucharistic community that connects the church at large with the urban poor. We provide physical and spiritual works of mercy, including comprehensive pastoral care to the disenfranchised and marginalized of our society. Vancouver has been called a city of neighborhoods, each with a distinct character and ethnic mix. It is also extremely beautiful, consistently ranked one of the 3 most livable cities in the world. In 2007, according to Forbes, Vancouver had the 6th most overpriced real estate market. In 2007, Vancouver was ranked Canada's 2nd most expensive city to live after Toronto, and the 89th most expensive globally. The 2010 Winter Games will be held in Vancouver and nearby Whistler. Still, in the downtown east side, used syringes and condoms litter neighborhood sidewalks, and alleys are regularly used as makeshift toilet facilities. The area is noted for high incidences of poverty, drug addiction, prostitution, and violent crime. There is a noticeable police presence as poor transitional populations, including runaways, prostitutes, petty criminals, people involved with the mental health system, and drug addicts cohabit the area. The media often portray this neighborhood as a desperate and hazardous one, choosing to ignore the care and support systems and sense of cohesiveness of the residents that play a large role in establishing the recognition of the downtown east side as a community.
Each year, a class of grade 11 and 12 students come from the South Okanagan School District, and I accompany them in a walkabout around the downtown east side. Last year, after we returned to the safety of the school bus for a debrief, one of the girls burst out into tears, overwhelmed by what she'd just seen. Then, as a teenager, she was ashamed of her displayed emotions. I encouraged and comforted her, ensuring her that hers was the authentic and appropriately human response to what we had just witnessed. The rest of us were covering up the impact of our experiences. To see fellow human beings in distress and not respond is no less than inhumane. For us to pass by, untouched, unmoved, makes us less than human, less than God intended and created us to be. Negligence and hard-heartedness dehumanizes us more than the already dehumanized wounded one. It is the most basic human characteristic to respond. We unhumanize ourselves when we avoid and hide and fail to engage. Therefore, just be human. Just be humane.
If we were living out in the street, we would very quickly come to look horrible. If we were living in the street, I know for a fact that while you and I seem fairly high functioning, we would be showing symptoms of mental illness within a week or 2, just from the stress and trauma of being in the street. And that the cure for that mental illness and trauma is to live inside. Because no matter how much treatment we pour into somebody who's living outside, whether it's treatment for mental illness or treatment for addiction, it goes nowhere, because the very basics of human life are to live inside and to eat regular meals. And until you've achieved that, you can't do any other therapy that's going to be effective. Any meal that comes into the street in the downtown east side, especially where there's been attention paid to nutrition, where there's been attention paid to the fact that people often have no teeth or few teeth in the street, that lovingly served meal and the interaction between people is the most important thing, really, that can happen. While we're working towards better housing, while we're working towards better nutrition in the downtown east side, it's the interaction always between members of the broader community that is so healing. And I would really encourage people to participate in that. People absolutely can help. And the first thing that I would encourage everybody to do is, as they walk past somebody who's living in the street, just acknowledge their presence, make eye contact, give them a smile, say hi. Just to be acknowledged is a huge positive experience for a homeless person. The wonderful experience with Brian. I first met him when he was playing the Angel Gabriel in a Christmas pageant at St. James, and have watched him interacting with people in the street and bridging between the church in the normal world and the church in the world that's normal to us, which is the street.
People will ask me, well, what are we doing? What are we accomplishing? And as I say, well, you know, if a pastor is working with individuals on the street, and however he works with them, how do you measure that response? How do you measure? They don't come to church, but they talk about him being their pastor. You may not see any change in their behaviorisms, but they still call him my pastor. So, you know, there's something there that is recognizable. There's so many things that the street pastor does and how he works that there is no way of evaluating the fruitfulness.
I'm Christian. I am what I am, that's all I am.